Hey, this is Matthew.
And this is Andrea.
Welcome back to Nerd News today, and it's time for another statue review.
From Diamond Select, their DC Gallery line, we have The Flash.
That's right, this is a PVC figure diorama from DST. We've looked mostly at a lot of Marvel stuff, very few DC things, so today we're going to be looking at a bunch more DC stuff.
I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of The Flash in comic form because I don't really know it as well, but I love the show. So I am a little bit of a Flash fan.
Well, this particular Flash, as you mentioned, is a comic book version, and you can see we got ourselves a nice big window on the front, a really nice logo. It's the usual typical boxy things they do, but it looks pretty nice, actually. It's nice colors.
Yeah, I actually really like the colors. It's bright, it stands out, it screams Flash. Like, you know what you're getting with this.
Windows on both sides, you can get a nice little peek in there. And as always, the sunroof.
We love the sunroof.
And on the back, we've got ourselves actually a surprisingly lengthy bio. Normally, we've complained in the past that the bios are kind of trim and slim.
And also not always accurate.
This time around, it's actually pretty wordy, so that's good.
Yeah, which is really nice. And as usual, it says down here, it was designed by Caesar and sculpted by Joe Menna.
So what's also interesting to note here is the picture. We see a full body picture of what the statue is once you take it out of the box. But over here we have an illustration of the Flash, and this is more like the New 52 outfit, whereas the statue is more of the classic style Flash. So I don't know why they did that. It might just be like DC tells them they have to do that.
Or maybe they're just showing different Flashes because it's the Flash.
I don't know. Doesn't matter because we're not going to be talking about the box all day. We're here to take a look at the Flash outside of the box. So
I have the razor ready.
Great. Well, let's go ahead and take the Flash out and not cut ourselves or other people. And
it takes all the
fun
away.
The Flash, yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's look at the Flash.
And we're back, and our Flash is out of the box. So, Andrea, what do we think about this pose? Because really, normally we talk about likenesses first, but I think with the Flash, this is more of a pose-based piece.
Okay, so I'm just going to start and say I love the base, and I think that falls into it. Looks like that's what they're trying to, show the Speed Force or something. That or in Ocean. It's a weird pose for me, because rather than running towards something, it looks like Barry's in the middle of trying to stop.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of putting his body back, and I feel like it's diminishing some of the power of his pose.
Yeah, what's interesting with the Flash is normally most statues of him are of him running, obviously, because that's what he does. So I feel like this may have been Diamond trying to do something a little bit different, because they do that a lot since they've done so many statues of these characters again and again. So how many times have we actually seen him stopping?
No, and I appreciate that. Like, I really do. I mean, I actually really like how you have, at the base, you have these bits just, like, kind of coming up.
Some impact.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's something about it that just makes him feel a little weaker.
Yeah, because, like, if I just tilt the statue even a little bit this way, like, you see there's a difference in the energy. Like, there's, like, a total change of the energy of the piece, but when you actually then put him on his base flat, it really does change it. You can see now he clearly is stopping. Yeah. So, as a heroic pose, it's tough. It's not really very heroic. It's just basically Flash in motion. It's almost like if you had other Flash pieces, it'd be cool to line them up at the end.
Yeah.
But in terms of like heroism or energy, I personally wouldn't have minded if they just actually did it, changed the foot, and just had them boom like that instead.
Yeah, I agree with you. I appreciate that they were going for something different. I appreciate that they're trying something that's not really done that often. I do wish we knew whether or not this was water or the Speed Force. I want to assume the Speed Force.
I'm pretty sure it's the Speed Force.
Yeah, but at the same time, they could have done a better color.
Because we've seen in the Godzilla statue review, we've also seen that with water. We've seen other pieces with water, so they treat it a little bit differently. The colors are similar.
Yeah, but I kind of wish they had made it a little bit clearer. But overall, it's just, I appreciate them trying something different. I think that's really the best way to sum it up.
Yeah. And as for the anatomy of the body itself, too, that part I do like. So even if we don't necessarily think the pose is like the best for the Flash, I think the anatomy is still pretty interesting and again, very unique for these types of statues.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, given the fact that the Flash, his metabolism is through the roof and he's constantly running, it makes sense that he would have a much leaner body. But it's also just kind of funny seeing the way that the muscles are all defined. But again, I like that they went for something different, especially with the fold right here, which really gives you the sense of movement. They carried the through lines.
Yeah. Although, talking about some muscle, look at that butt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his butt is toned.
He's a runner, so,
He got that runner booty.
You crack walnuts between those cheeks.
Oh, my God.
So let's talk about that face now. So the face is fairly bland. Barry Allen, and really none of the Flashes have really that interesting of faces in any way. The Flash here is a little, average looking.
Because my experiences with the Flash are predominantly non-book media, non-comic media. So, we're talking the Justice League cartoons, we're talking about the DC movies, we're talking, the CW show. When I think of the Flash, I think of him as more animated.
Yeah.
I think of him with, a smile. I think of him with a glimmer in his eye. I know he gets serious and he gets angry and he goes through all those emotions, but like what's presented is, he's the goofy guy. He's the guy who still is able to make jokes.
He's always like the more optimistic of the characters.
Yeah. So it bothers me that his face is just kind of meh.
Yeah, it's very bland, very square. It's the classic hero face with the square jaw and everything, but it's very lifeless.
I would have preferred, since they were making him stop, have an expression of like, oh, I'm about to stop. Oh, whatever people's faces are when they're in the middle of running and then they stop.
Yeah, something basically a little bit more expressive than just the nothing that's going on here, because there really is nothing on the face.
Yeah,
and there's really nothing you could like imprint onto it either from your own emotion, because it's just because of that weird kind of pose. It takes you a minute to figure out what it is too. Your brain has a little bit more time to process things, and it's not as fast as it is with the Flash running, literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Also, I know that this is a total nothing. So I'm not calling this out as a mistake, but there is like the tiniest little line of red paint on the side of his mouth, which I think makes it look a little bit more like he's frowning, but like the blandest frown you could possibly do. Or if you look at it really, really close, it looks as though he's got a tiny trickle of blood on his face. So it's like, oh, zombie Flash?
Yeah, I gotta say, the mouth is probably the worst part of the paint job in this piece.
Yeah.
Everything else is actually really clean, though. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Red and yellow are two colors that are fairly aggressive in paint form, especially yellow. That can just go everywhere and be messy. But here, it's actually controlled very tightly, very well. They did an excellent job keeping the paint app really clean. It's just the face where it looks, just the mouth part is what I mean in particular.
Yeah.
Just the mouth where that one little line that's in the wrong spot changes the tone of the piece entirely.
Exactly. It's a weird thing. And speaking of the paint job, aside from it being very clean, there are a couple of small schmutzy spots, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. There's a line on his back and some schmutz on his butt, but
Nice.
However, it's not bad. This is really clean, and it's good quality.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's a good Flash piece. It's not the best. It's not one of the greatest, but it's a good Flash piece. And, for $50 as well, I'm happy with that price point for what you're getting here. You've got some solid musculature, very good sculpting. I love the base. The base is really great. I know we haven't really decided whether it's water or Speed Force. I lean towards Speed Force.
I do too, in all honesty.
But it's a great looking base. I love just the dynamicness of the base itself. That really adds more to the motion.
Ooh, I kind of like how they have the crazy lines in the thigh. That's not typical.
That's what I mean about the musculature of this piece, is because, especially his outfit is so much more skin tight too, and he's running. He's got the runner's body, so there's a lot more muscle in here that's more realistic.
Yeah, I really like that. I was noticing his hands, actually, because
the hands are real great too.
The hands are just crazy good. You don't have the outline of the nails, but you know that they're there. You have the knuckles though.
Yeah.
And it's proportionate.
Yeah, hands are great. I mean, anatomy is perfect 10 of this piece.
Yeah, this is kind of insane how good the anatomy is.
Yeah. It's a good piece for that. It's a unique pose. Not necessarily my favorite Flash piece.
No. Since this is a Diamond review, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the kill piece. You know how there's always a piece on Diamond that's, you could stab someone. In this case, it's either the base or it's the little lightning bolts here. Because the lightning bolts are sharp, feel that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the only problem with the lightning bolts being the kill piece are they're a softer plastic, so they might break off. To use it as ew.
Found a use for them.
Ew, put that back. Oh. Put that back. No. If you're ever going to need to use it as a weapon, go with the Speed Force base.
Or just good old blunt trauma and go bam to the head, right?
Well, yeah.
Bam to the head. Yeah. So overall, good piece.
Not our favorite.
It's not our favorite Flash. It's definitely not the best Flash. But for a $50 PVC piece, it's a pretty unique version of the Flash that still captures a lot of the high points of him with just a few little oddities. But again, even then, I think a lot of folks out there are probably going to be a little bit less critical than we are of these things. And even if I was looking at it a little bit more with a less critical eye, I'd still say it is a very strong piece.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like that it's like him stopping, I guess you could say, because I would rather have a Flash in motion. But, we still do have a lot of energy and motion in the piece, just in a different way than what we normally get from the Flash.
Yeah, I guess if he was going to be stopping, I'd rather it not be the Speed Force that we're seeing. I wish we were seeing something else, I guess. Why is he stopping? You know, like, is there a brick wall in front of him? Like, I kind of wish that we had a little bit more of that, as we've seen with some of those other statues. But I agree with you. This is a really solid piece for the price point. It's a little different, which is always nice. And yeah, it's a respectable Flash.
So from a design perspective as well, we're talking about the pose here, and I want to talk about the balance of the pose to the base, because that's actually a really, really great subtle thing that's here that helps add more strength to the piece. So you'll see the Flash's body here has kind of got this diagonal essentially going across it, and it's in more than one spot. If you look at it from behind, it's actually way more apparent how this is working, because you can see we have the shoulder blades that connect you down here, and that is then mirrored by the speed force effect that's going on in the base. And so when you look at it from the front, it's also a bit of a juxtaposition and flow, because it's bringing it down this way. We have the angles matching, but then they're countered by the knee going this way and how this wraps around. So it creates like a whole lot of tension for your eyes to really keep you in there. So from a design perspective, that's brilliant.
That's a really good point, Matthew.
Thank you. I make them sometimes.
I know. It's good when you can put your knowledge to work. Yeah, so that's our look at the Flash from Diamond Select's DC Gallery line.
Pretty solid piece, worth your money if you're collecting these DC statues from Diamond. You gotta have the Flash part of your Justice League, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is a pretty good one to get. I think it's a really, we keep saying the word unique in this review, and that's because it is. It is a unique type of pose for this character, and I think it's pretty decent. So I'm Matthew.
I'm Andrea.
We'll see you guys here next time on Nerd News Today for some more statue reviews and everything else that we do here on the channel. And if you happen to like this statue of the Flash and want to get him for your own collection, go ahead and use our Amazon affiliate links in the description below.
And if you agree with us, disagree with us, feel free to sound off in the comments.
So until next time, be safe and flash away? No, that sounds terrible. Do not do that. Do not do what I said. No. Don't flash. Oh. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. I fixed it in the end.
No, you didn't. No.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.